is until now. As it turns out, if we don't move, we in some ways lose our ability to. Why? One word: fascia. When we think of stretching, we often first consider our muscles, but as we'll see in this video, many of the benefits of stretching are actually seen in our fascia. Fascia is the connective tissue threaded through every inch of our bodies. When your fascia is healthy, it's flexible, rubbery, and elastic, allowing for fluid, graceful movement and full range of motion. But when it's unhealthy, it can get sticky, thick, and literally becomes matted together. Meanwhile, your body feels tight, sore, and your ability to move is restricted, maybe even permanently. Made up of a microscopic web of collagen fibers connected by fibroblasts. It surrounds and penetrates every muscle, coats every bone, inside of organs, and envelops every nerve. You can actually draw a line from any point in your body to any other point just by following the endless paths of your connective tissue.
Every single organ of your body has what we call a matrix of connective tissue. It's the scaffold. It's what makes the shape of whatever body part you're looking at. And it's a common denominator through the entire body.
Until recently, fascia was thought to be inert and lifeless. Surgeons and scientists would cut through it and discard it on their way to what they consider to be more important body parts. One such scientist, Hélène Langevin of the National Institutes of Health, however, made a bizarre discovery while learning acupuncture. She noticed that as the needle was inserted into the skin, something seemed to be grabbing and pulling at it. When Langevin took these results to the lab, an MRI revealed that the collagen fibers of the fascia were actually winding themselves around the needle, like spaghetti on a fork. And what's more, the fibroblasts sent out chemical signals to the surrounding tissue, allowing it to expand and then relax.
The fibroblasts that are inside the tissues, up to several centimeters away, not just only at the needle, they expand. They respond, it relaxes the tissue.
To find out what happens when we don't move our bodies, researchers had people without injuries wear an arm cast and took scans of their fascia. Picture A shows healthy fascia prior to the experiment, while picture B shows that same fascia after just 3 weeks of no movement. Like an unkept garden, the collagen fibers in the fascia prior to the experiment, while picture B shows that same fascia after just 3 weeks of no movement. Like an unkept garden, the collagen fibers in picture B have become overgrown. They are thicker and have literally become tangled and fused together. This unfortunate and many times painful occurrence is called fascial adhesion. Our fascia is arranged in layers, and when we move, these layers slide back and forth, gliding past one another. In healthy tissue, these layers are organized and woven into a lattice or crimp-like structure. But in unhealthy tissue, the excess collagen cross-links and fuses in many different places. And now, instead of these layers gliding smoothly past each other as they were designed to do, they stick to each other like glue and pull and strain and tug in all different directions.
The data we've obtained show quite clearly that a lack of exercise results in overproliferation of the connective tissue structures, and thus in a loss of function.
Back pain, of all things, has been called a medical mystery despite being a very, very common problem. Patients would complain of excruciating pain, and yet spinal scans would reveal absolutely nothing wrong. And treatments were equally confusing and dubiously effective.
He just needs to wear this brace for a while to correct it.
Interestingly, through comparing the tissue of people who suffer from back pain compared to people who don't, Langevin has shown that the difference lies in the fascia's ability to slide.
In normal people, we have 2 layers like this, and they should be able to move by about 75% of their length when the back moves. And then we know that in people with back pain, it's reduced to about 50% of their length. So we know that there's a reduction in the amount of sliding that occurs between layers.
Too little movement can cause fascia to become so rigid and thick that it can even compress nerves and muscles. This reduces important blood, water, and nutrient flow to these areas. And water is a crucial component for fascia. Our connective tissue can contain up to 70% water. The moisture content is another important element in our ability to move smoothly and easily. If there is insufficient moisture here, the tissue becomes rough and brittle. By pressing down on the fascia firmly through massage or foam rolling and then letting go, water reserves can be replenished and exchanged like water in a sponge, and the moisture of the tissue can be restored and improved. Between each layer of tissue we find hyaluronic acid, another crucial component of fascia. Hyaluronic acid provides a lubricant for the fascia to glide over the neighboring muscle. The idea is that massage or movement realigns the collagen fibers, and fibroblasts produce fresh hyaluronic acid. New water replaces old water, enabling the fascia to slide more effectively again. So what can we do to eliminate fascial adhesions and keep our fascia healthy and moving smoothly? As we've seen, the treatment is just moving around. Massage, foam rolling, acupuncture, yoga, and really any type of movement-heavy lifestyle can all prevent fascial adhesions and keep tissue moist, supple, and free of inflammation. Really, any type of regular movement will do.
You can't tell me that that doesn't feel good, because I know it does.
How about that?
There's a little coffee break for you. And something that's great for those thighs as well. I'll take it to the ring. A 2, a 3, and a 4.